Ravens get back one of their guys who's been missing for almost a month. We get an update on Jaire Alexander. The Baltimore Ravens signed an all-pro special teams ace. Man, we got a lot to cover today. Let's just get straight into it. So Jaire Alexander, who had not practiced since August 9th, he returned to practice today. This past Monday, I thought it was looking real shaky for Jaire Alexander, and my expectations for him playing in the Buffalo Bills game on Sunday Night Football, they were out the window. I was thinking, all right, well, we ain't going to have him week 1. But, hey, we still got 16 other games after that, so we'll be good because I do want to see him during the regular season. He was not just signed for the playoffs. We got to get that out of our minds, man. He was signed for regular season as well, so we want to see him in that. But with him being back at practice, that does give us some more hope that he could possibly play this coming Sunday night. Now, that would be a big boost for the Baltimore Ravens, too. Just being able to have him out there. Now, if he does play, I do not expect him to be out there for 100% of the snaps. I don't think that's a realistic expectation whatsoever. But I would assume that he would be on a pitch count, and then Chidobe Awuzie could relieve him. Maybe even some TJ Tampa could relieve him as well. The Baltimore Ravens do have options in that secondary to cover for Jaire Alexander. But the fact that he was back at practice finally, that's a beautiful sign. Now, somebody else who did not practice today was the Ravens tight end Jaire Alexander. Now, I got really excited because yesterday he had tweeted this, and I was thinking, is he going to possibly practice on Wednesday? But Ian Rapoport, not even 12 hours after that, he shut it all down when he said the following. He said, Ravens tight end Jaire Alexander, who is recovering nicely from a broken bone in his foot, so that's really good. He said, is not expected to play in the team's opener against the Bills, sources say. Likely underwent surgery in late July, a shout out to the Chips, and is healing as expected. He should be ready early in the season. So, again, while he did shut down any possibility of Jaire Alexander playing in the game on Sunday night, it is okay. That was really an expectation from most of us for the past couple of weeks. But he does give us a nice reminder that Jaire Alexander is healing good, and Jaire Alexander should be ready at the early part of the season. And again, that goes right along with what Eric DeCosta said on why they did not put him on injury reserve, because they expect him to be back sooner rather than later. Just when you think Ravens are done with their roster, just when you think they finished making moves, they say, you know what, we ain't done yet. And that's exactly what this signing of J.T. Gray was. Let's read the report from Jordan Schultz. He said, the Ravens are signing former Saints 3-time All-Pro special teamer and safety J.T. Gray. Gray, a surprise release earlier this week, has significant interest from a number of teams. Baltimore expects him to be on the field sooner than later. And that's amazing for the Baltimore Ravens, because that continues to go to show you that no matter what area of the field it is, offense, defense, special teams, that they are still, even at this stage of the season, still looking for ways to improve, still looking for ways to get even better. Something about J.T. Gray, his rank over the past 2 seasons on special teams. In 2024, it was a 91.2. That was tied for 3rd overall in the league. And then in 2023, it was 89.7. And Gordon McGinnis said, this is a good signing. And what also reminds me that this is a good signing was seeing Saints fans and players' reactions to it, and even the coach, because he said that this was one of the hardest decisions that he had to ever make. Alvin Kamara, he tweeted something that wasn't so team keep it clean. And then I seen a lot of Saints fans just being really upset. Like, why would we cut him, especially at this point of the season? But, hey, one team's trash is Baltimore Ravens treasure. Now, while we got some nice positive updates on Jaire Alexander, the recovery of Jaire Alexander, and the Baltimore Ravens signing J.T. Gray, there was some news that was not the best, and it is very concerning when you really think about it. Pat Ricard, he was still missing from practice, and we know Pat Ricard, he's an unsung hero of this Baltimore Ravens team. He's a fullback, he's a tight end, he's an extra offensive lineman. He does a lot. So with him missing practice, it's not looking too promising for him. We're playing in this Bills game, but of course we will wait until tomorrow to really see, because if he don't practice on Thursday, then yeah, that's officially going to be a wrap for him. Stephen Ruiz, he dropped his 2025 NFL QB rankings, and they were based off of these attributes: accuracy, decision-making, arm talent, pocket presence, timing, and creativity. And we, of course, want to just get right to how he felt about Lamar Jackson, right? Let's get to it. He said, Lamar Jackson is the best player on the planet. I don't need to read any more after that, but we still will. He said he's not the best at winning Super Bowls, at least not yet. It's on the way, though. He said, but there isn't anyone better at purely playing the sport. At this stage in his career, his role in the Ravens' run game almost feels superfluous. If Jackson didn't log another design rushing attempt in his career, he would still be one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the league. I appreciate that. I really, really do, because that highlights Lamar Jackson's arm, not just his legs. Obviously, his legs are special too, but it highlights how special his arm is. And a lot of people, they get that twisted and they leave that out when talking about Lamar Jackson, but you just simply can't. But let's get back to the article. He says he's grown into one of the NFL's most gifted passers. Nobody's better at layering a pass over the outstretched arms of a linebacker, and don't let his effortless throwing motion fool you. Jackson can sling the football to any part of the field. He doesn't need a clear platform to push the ball downfield, but his scrambling puts the fear of God in opposing pass rushers who are afraid of allowing Jackson to escape the pocket. As long as that's the case, Jackson will enjoy extra time and space in the pocket, but I'm not sure he needs it. Lamar Jackson is the NFL's most efficient player under pressure. Let's read that again. Lamar Jackson is the NFL's most efficient player under pressure. Now, while that stat is accurate, while it is true, I hate that he has to be the most accurate player under pressure, because we know with Ravens offensive line, he can be under pressure a lot. But continuing, it says, he cannot be rushed into bad decisions, and he can make perfect throws while moving faster than most quarterbacks can run. And then there's the layer he adds to the design run game. Defenses will always have to account for him in there, which limits their ability to focus on defending the pass. Most quarterbacks need a nurturing environment to lead elite offenses. Jackson creates that environment for himself and then takes full advantage of it. That's real. I always hate when I hear people say, oh, well, if Lamar Jackson didn't have his legs, he wouldn't be so special. I do disagree with that. And at the same time, I always say, if something makes you special, use it, do it, go for it, make the most of it. And that's exactly what Lamar Jackson does each and every week. Now, the next part is, how can he rise? So how can he get even better than he already is? Can't get higher than the top spot because, Lamar Jackson, by the way, he was the number 1 quarterback in these rankings. But continuing, it says, but if Lamar Jackson wins the Super Bowl, he'll climb the all-time rankings. Now we have my favorite part of the videos where we get to hear from you. Let's just jump straight into it. First question came from a Team Keep It Clean patron, my guy, 314KT. He said, what's up, Ingravenvids and my Team Keep It Clean co-members? All right, so I don't have a question right now, but you know I got something to say. Man, if Manto tell y'all gonna cook up something that good for breakfast, he's invited to all the flock cookouts, man. And what he's referring to is Manto Te'o breaking down why Lamar Jackson and how he expects Lamar Jackson to win the MVP this year. And it was an excellent breakdown. I actually edited, recorded a video, put it together, and had it as part of this video, but then YouTube said, that's copyright. So I said, yeah, I ain't messing with it. So I will drop that video that he's referring to on our TikTok. Our TikTok is Ingravenvids, so check it out there. But yes, after what Manto Te'o said and how he broke it down, he can come through to anything that Ravens flock is doing. Next question came from my guy, Scott. He said, okay, first things first, keep it clean, my guy, and thank you for making good videos. No, I thank you for watching, my friend. I appreciate you. He said, all right, let's get into it. Every year, NFL commentators and sports analysts always bashing the Ravens, and they keep still saying they're not good enough to win the Super Bowl. So let's prove them wrong. This year is our year now. I'm liking Tyler Loop. He's doing good so far, and knock on wood. Now, what if Tucker comes back to the league? Do you think the Ravens would choose to bring him back or stick with Tyler Loop? Oh, no. They ain't turning back to Justin Tucker. I know Jeff Zrebiec went over that scenario a couple of months ago, but I just do not see that happening like at all to where they got to go back to Justin Tucker. Like, things would have to be extremely bad with Tyler Loop and past the point of bad, and then they would go through other kickers and whatnot and other avenues before they even thought about bringing Justin Tucker back, in my opinion. Anyway, he said, all the Ravens have to do this season, we need to stay healthy and stay away from the penalties. For the games with the Bills, we need to pressure Josh Allen and force him to have some bad throws, and our offense needs to keep them guessing. Sorry for the long note, and let's go Ravens. Next question came from my guy, Zlager. He said, how's everything going, bro? I don't have a question, but I just wanted to let you know that it's official. My son, Xavier, is officially a Ravens fan. He has the jersey to prove it. Oh, I love that, man. He said, also, can you tell my girlfriend, Rosie, that she's a Ravens fan by default if she didn't have a team prior to being with me? Yeah, Rosie, what's up? Rosie, get with the program. You in Ravens flock now, and you really, honestly, ain't even got a choice. But he also said, I just watched the video, and it was overrated or underrated wide receivers, and Zay Flowers came up. And can you believe this clown had the nerve to say that Zay Flowers is underrated because Ravens fans say Lamar Jackson is throwing to nobody? Now, with Zay Flowers, I will say I do agree that he is underrated for sure. I feel like he's underrated and a bit underappreciated as well for just the consistency that he's brought to the Baltimore Ravens as a wide receiver. So I got no problem with them calling him an underrated wide receiver. I do have a problem with them saying that Lamar's throwing to nobody, because Zay Flowers is certainly somebody, and so is Ricard, and so is DeAndre Hopkins, and so is Isaiah Likely, and so is Mark Andrews, and we got some guys. But anyway, continuing, he also said, hey, my friend, have you noticed when they talk about the best QBs in the league right now, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Patrick Mahomes, they hold on to Joe Burrow making it to the Super Bowl that one time 3 years ago. Not taking anything away from him, but at some point they have to stop bringing it up. Oh, they never will. They won't. You know how that goes already. They're going to keep on bringing it. Oh, he went to the Super Bowl. And he did, but he ain't finished the job, so he's right on the same boat as all these other guys that still don't have a Super Bowl yet. But Lamar Jackson getting ready to break that trend this year.